Hello everyone, welcome to the Phillip Siddiq Show. What would you do if you only had, for real, a certain amount of time before the world really ended? We're here with director Abel Ferrara.
She was your girlfriend.
Yeah. well, let's see.
Yeah, change that one around.
Yeah, and actress Shannon Lee.
Actually, you should sit in the middle, and I can see right. No, I could see. I could just see here. This is a better. Come on, let me do my thing.
Okay.
My directing thing. All right.
See, everyone, when a great director's on your set, you let them direct, because a lot of times they know exactly what needs to be in the frame.
the tweeting.
So the film is 444, Last Day on Earth.
Yeah, so good we named it twice.
Yeah, I like that. So what was, I should say, your motivation, inspiration for making this type of film? Was it because of 2012 and all the prophecies coming, or just...
You know, that's a good point. I mean, I think the fact that we're, you know, doing our best to blow the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? I mean, people dying left and right. I mean, at my age, I'm seeing the end. It's a lot close, you know, I'm a lot closer to the end than to the beginning. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I think it's, you know, it's a real deal. On the other hand, I don't question where the ideas come from. You know, I mean, I don't have that many. So, you know, when the spirit moves me, this is something that came to me.
Right, but with all your previous films, though, aren't those just a build-up for this one? Because this one has a lot, even though it's a quieter film, this has a lot of meat on it. As far as like the end of the world, what would you do?
Well, I like to think that, you know, you get better with age. You know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, you're not getting worse. You know, I haven't gotten Alzheimer hasn't gotten 100% there yet. So, you know.
Right. Now, Shannon, your role. This is your first leading lady role in here. What was it like, and how did you prepare for it? Because a lot of people, they get the role, they blow it. Seriously, they mess it up.
You're right.
I'm sure you.
Glad you told me this after I already made the movie.
No, you did well. You acted one of my favorite actors, Willem Dafoe. We'll get to him in a moment. But what did you do to prepare for that role?
I studied Frida Kahlo a lot. My character's a painter, so I just tried to get into the world of Frida Kahlo a lot, just because I found her so interesting and so passionate and so strong. And I used her really as a vehicle, and just try to. We were just in Mexico City, and so I got to sort of explore her world a little bit. And well, I knew that my character was a painter, and I really wanted to explore that as much as I could.
Right. Okay. And chemistry. How did you get the chemistry? I mean, it's spot on with Willem Dafoe. And the one scene where we're not going to give anything away, but he's talking to somebody, and another person comes in on the conversation, and someone listens to the conversation, and she just goes ape. What part did you, what did you do to get that, should I say anger?
Yeah, anger is a good word.
Yeah.
Well, I have red hair, so it's not that hard for me to...
I dated a girl with red hair, and I didn't think of that. Liz Furlong. Hey.
Hey, Liz, how you doing?
Yes.
Did she?
She was all right. She was cool.
You know, I find Abel very inspiring. He's such a great director to work with, and he'll
bring out the anger in you.
He's so passionate and so full of vigor and life and passion, and he gives everything on that set, and it's kind of easy for you just to give as much, because it's there, you know, there's no shame, there's no anything, it's just everything's available. So it's actually very inspiring to work on his set, and music, I find music very inspiring.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of music are you listening to right now?
You know, I love Bob Dylan and The Strokes and Florence and the Machine, and
Florence and the Machine.
No, but who's the singer? Who's the guy that we went to see?
Oh, Anthony and the Johnsons.
Yeah, I gotta listen to that day and night. Anthony and the fucking Johnsons. No, I like them too.
I do like them. Do you know him? No,
we will look him up though. We will definitely look him up. Willem Dafoe. I have liked that guy since To Live and Die in LA.
Yeah,
I've seen about 3/4 of all his stuff. What did you do specifically, because you've worked with him before, to get him
What do you like about it?
Upgrades? Platoon Okay, this is the part. I like when he ran through the jungle the opposite way of the Viet Cong and he was shooting all of them. So that taught me, okay, sometimes you have to go against the tide to get where you need to go.
Right,
And
excellent.
to live and die in L.A.
It's
I
kind
mean, that
of a
was
good
just
parallel for his whole the way he works. You know, well, you know what I mean. He goes against the flow, but he knows the flow. You know what I
Yes.
mean.
Mm-hmm.
Before he decides to make his moves. You know.
Right.
So, what was the question? What?
No, you asked him a question.
Oh, I
Yeah, you asked me, about
Good
what
answer.
do I like about Willem Dafoe.
Right,
I said,
good answer.
I like that cat. And you two, the chemistry with you
the
two.
chemistry.
Yes. Yeah, with Willem.
Well,
I mean, he
I've
is.
worked.
Yeah.
I've actually, I'm very good friends with Willem and with his wife, and we worked together on Go-Go Tales before a different movie, and I just know him really well, and he's such a great actor, and he's so professional, he's very giving, so it was easy.
Okay. Now the spiritual aspect of the film. You're painting the dragons. What does that signify? The
Okay,
dragons.
it's not a dragon, it's an Ouroboros.
Okay, thank you.
No, it's not. I actually discovered this symbol when I was, when we were making this movie. It's the snake eating its own tail, which is this,
You're lucky.
just the cyclical existence of life. You're born, you live, you die, and you repeat it again, or just, you know, you have to wake up, you eat every day, just, you know, certain cycles and rituals that we have in our life every day, and her belief that
There it is right there, guys.
Perfect.
How about that? All right, that's your Ouroboros.
That is going to be sharp. That is going to be sharp. So it's an Ouroboros. Okay. Now, how was the film shot? Because a lot of shots here are tight. I mean, as far as, was it 35 millimeter or was it with, you know?
Shot with the red camera, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of.
Okay,
But,
I'm a geek, so I'm like,
You like the red camera.
Yes.
Yeah, you like it because of the name.
Yeah.
Because
2K,
of
3K.
yeah, okay. But, you know, I wouldn't recommend shooting digitally. I mean, you know, everything after the film goes through the lens, I think, you know, is obviously digital. You know, you know, the fact that we edit now, very small team with, you know, on the computer. You know, Tony Redman, the editor, where once he had a crew of, you know, countless people. You know. Now it's reduced, and we get the same quality of it. You know, I'm buying into the editing aspect. I love the sound work now. How we could digitalize, how we could, the layering of images, all that stuff we never really could do before, like we could do it now. So I'm totally into the digital scene, but I'm not. Because of my background and the amount of work that I've done, that it's in my DNA to use the negative. And for Kodak, and to see a film and to the colors, that whatever it is that's in front of me, I don't see it digitally, you know? And I don't know what it is. I mean, I could explain it a bunch of different ways technically, but I mean, the shadow of the silver for me is it. And even nowadays, it's not, you can't, you know, after doing that whole film digitally, shooting on the red, we're going back to making 35 negative prints, you know, for most of the theaters. Because, you know, you go around the world, filming around the world, they're not all set up to show these films digitally.
Right. This is what someone had told me. They said, film is film, digital is digital.
Yeah, it's like sculpting or painting on oil and painting on water. And I think there's the idea of trying to make digital image look like film is first of all, is not the way to go. You know, I mean, it can't be done anyway. And you know, a digital image is always going to be what that is. And I think the move is to just try to perfect that as its own artistic form.
Right. You know? Now, Abel, what keeps you going in this industry?
Pay the rent. To pay the fucking rent. I mean, you know, it's as simple as that, man.
That's not true.
What?
You love
The passion, the drama,
No, I mean,
tension.
I got the passion, I got the love, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's not like we're doing it in a vacuum, you know what I mean? I mean, we've always made movies, we're always going to make movies, but you know, a driving force is survival. You know, the part of making films, that it's no separation between what I do and how I survive and the work, you know.
Right.
It's all one thing.
Now, when you're, let's say they're doing a casting, what do the qualities you look for in the people for your films? Some directors look because they look good, some because they sound good, and others look because, okay, I think they can really carry this picture. What do you look for?
You got to know the person. I mean, it's impossible to meet somebody in a moment in a casting session. I mean, I try to stay very far away. You know, we want to always be obviously using people that we don't know. But if you don't know someone, if you haven't, even like with the relationship with Dafoe, this is the third film I work with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't have this relationship the first time. We didn't have it the second time. You know, it's gradual. Her and I have been together. We've also been on a set together for a bunch of stuff, right? This is where that comes from. You know, you just, it's not a matter of looking
but
at
he's
someone.
very intuitive too, and I think he can really draw things out of an actor. And I remember he said this one time when he was meeting a few different actors he was casting for something, and I was like, they had like a 5-minute conversation before the audition was supposed to happen, and Abel's like, we already did the audition, man, like, you know, just before just meeting someone.
Yeah, I
he
know.
can already,
Somebody says to me, can I audition for you? I said, you already have.
yeah,
You know.
just meeting him, and he could.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to meet somebody, you're going to talk to them. You know, the key is to see what they've done, you know. But then again, I'm not going to base what a guy does for another director. You know, it's a whole thing. But, you know, I mean, it's funny because they got this big shot of Benicio. I put him in his first film. One of them.
Yes.
You know, not the first, maybe, but close to it. So we found a few people. But, you know, it's a combination of I'm a director, you know, that's what makes me a director. I have an instinct for who could play and who can't, you know, but it's the performance is dependent on the relationship and the trust between the director and the actor, and it doesn't come like that,
Right.
you know. So
Okay.
you know.
Now, since this is kind of a heavy film, what did you guys do on set to make it kind of light, to lighten the mood, lighten the mode a little bit?
We didn't. We made it more intense.
What? Oh, yeah.
Now I work with a bunch of knuckleheads. They're always, you know, my guys are always clowning, even if they're not clowning. You know what I mean? It's
You have a specific example? You know, anything that someone can use?
What was Kenny
lighten
doing?
them?
He was making those signs on the camera.
Yeah, I forget what he put on. What would he write down?
Shasha something.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, he's just, these guys in their seriousness.
He's worked with his DP for a really long time, so they have a very brotherly relationship together. So
yeah, we're fighting and screaming all the time. So even at each other. So that kind of that's how it takes the pressure off. Me and the DP are attacking each other and fighting, and you know, so then everybody else could chill out and be cool. You know, we just have it's a group trip. It was a very young crew. You know, it was that, you know, very young cats. You know, I mean, Willem, you know, there was either her age, right, in that age group, or the guys like us, you know, and we were old as the hills, and no one in between, you know what I mean? But we all ate together on a set. It was like, you know, I don't shoot long hours, man, you know what I mean? I really feel a thing of diminishing returns. We only shot 15 days.
Oh,
right?
Wow, 15?
Yeah,
Wow.
Shot 15 days, maybe.
intense.
Yeah, that's...
Right, that's fast.
Yeah.
But, you know, we know what we're doing, we know what we want, we've been rehearsed, you know, so I find that, you know, working at that fever pitch, working up tempo, working like that just gets the best out of everybody, you know.
Okay. Last thing. Now, I know I went with a friend and we saw it, and she says that the age difference between Willem Dafoe and then your character there, and I explained it, I said, well, maybe it wasn't about numbers, maybe they saw each other's soul, and that's what they locked on.
Thank you.
So, that's just my opinion about that, so.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. We're all souls, just, you know, we have bodies and they function, but we're souls. We all are these pure souls, and your soul doesn't know how old it is. It's infinite.
That's right. A lot of shallowness. That can get rid of a whole lot of shallowness.
Yeah.
So,
When it's real love, and it's hard enough to find. And are you going to limit yourself by saying it's not the box that I wanted it to come in? I mean,
yeah, she's so correct, everybody. We've been here with Abel Ferrara, Shannon Lee, 444 last day on Earth, and the thing is,
Don't miss it.
Yeah, don't miss it. What
Don't
would you
miss
do if it really was coming to pass?
Yeah, 4:44 a.m.
Yes.
All right. Fine.